General Keth Rawl, Queen Sarith Valken slammed her claw on the throne arm. Seize a live human, their so-called warrior of legends. Chain him for the broadcast trial. Let the galaxy watch him break. Keth bowed low, his armored bulk casting shadows across the chamber's crystal floors. Majesty. It will shatter their will. These primates crumble under spectacle. Vizier Threx shifted in the shadows, his tendrils twitching. My queen, intelligence suggests. Enough. Sarith waved him silent. Fear wins wars, Vizier. Deploy the shock battalion. Now, Keth's dropships tore through the human front lines at dawn. Jammers bloomed like black flowers, smothering radio waves across the sector. He watched from orbit, optics locked on the target trench line. Keth stabbed a talon at the holo display. Staff Sergeant Mara Vance. Their legends whisper of her. Unbroken in a dozen assaults. Take her, alive. Pods rocketed down. Explosions chewed the earth. Shock troops, Keth's finest, gene-forged for terror, hit the mud-running pulse lances primed for stun. Sergeant Mara Vance rolled from the blast crater, rifle up. Dirt stung her eyes. The trench shuddered under alien boots. Comms dead. She snapped into her throat mic. Nothing. Jammers. Lieutenant Juno Park crouched 2 foxholes over, slapping her portable rig. Sergeant, standard channels fried. Rerouting through the scout drone. Hold. Mara sighted the first wave. Hulking aliens in shock harnesses charged. Shields humming. 10 meters out. Fall back, Bravo. Mara's voice cut sharp over the crackling drone link. Pull to secondary line. Funnel 'em. Her squad peeled back. Private Ellis clutched his gut. Blood bubbling. Sarge can't move. Mara hauled him by the collar, dragging him through the muck as lance fire scorched the air behind. The trench narrowed to a kill corridor. Pre-sighted claymores and overlapping fields of fire. Aliens poured in, funneling tight. Keth grinned in his command pod. They're running. Push. His lead squad vanished into the choke. Screams echoed up the feed. Human rifles barked. Claymore blasts shredded armor. Mara dumped Ellis behind a berm, slapped a tourniquet on his wound. Park drone overwatch. Affirm. Feeding targets. Juno's voice steadied the static. Lead squad pinned. Second wave inbound. Mara chambered around. The aliens broke through. 5 left, berserk with rage. They crashed into her at arm's length, claws raking. She sidestepped the first slash, drove her rifle butt into its jaw mandibles. Crack! It reeled. Second alien lunged, lance stabbing. Mara twisted, bayonet sinking into its underbelly. Hot ichor sprayed her visor. Frag out! She yanked a grenade, rolled it into the pack. Boom! Limbs flew. The last 2 charged. Mara dropped low, swept one's legs. It slammed down. She stomped its breather tube. Gurgle. The final alien fired wild. Lance grazed her shoulder. Burn, no break. She tackled it, knife plunging through its visor. It spasmed, went limp. Panting, Mara keyed the drone. Park. Corridor clear. Ellis. Stable. What's the play? Juno's feed pinged. Inbound heavies. Third wave dropping now. Recommend exfil east. General Keth Rawl roared at the holo. Feeds showed his shock troops mangled in the mud. Impossible. Primates don't fight like that. Vizier Threx burst into the command deck. Data slates clutched. General, patterns match. This Vance. She's not elite. Standard infantry doctrine. All humans train this way.
Keth whirled.
Lies. Retask the heavies. Capture her! Pods slammed anew, but Mara's squad vanished into the fog, drone guiding them through kill zones. Human mines claimed a dropship. Rifle fire picked off stragglers. Keth's forces stalled. Casualties mounted. No prisoner. Back in the throne chamber, Queen Sarith watched the live feed empire-wide. Her claws dug into the throne. The broadcast showed not a broken human, but her elites shredded by one sergeant's hands. Vizier, she hissed as Threx entered, screens blazing with after-action logs. My queen, Threx bowed, voice steady. Sergeant Vance followed basic protocols, dragged her wounded under fire, ambushed at melee range, rerouted comms mid-jam. She's routine for them. Sarith's optics widened, the holo replayed. Mara hauling Ellis, bayoneting giants twice her mass, no rage. Just calm precision. Legends? Sarith whispered. Or all of them? Keth stormed in via holo. Majesty, we lost the battalion. She's gone to ground, but we can... No. Sarith cut him. The chamber feeds buzzed. Empire worlds watching. Whispers spread. Humans unbreakable. Threx leaned close. Doctrine invalid, my queen. Reputation lied. Their standard outmatches our shock troops. Every human fights like this. Sarith rose. Her empire's fleets encircled Earth, built on deterrence. Spectacle. Fear. Now, results stared back. One soldier, routine, bled her best dry. Open channels. She commanded. To the humans, ceasefire terms. Full withdrawal. Keth gaped. Majesty, now? Her voice cracked the crystal. Fear coiled in her gut. Not of humans, but of measuring wrong. In the trench, Mara bandaged Ellis as Juno's drone hummed overhead. Fresh ammo crates dropped from rear lines. Ceasefire ping, Sergeant, Juno said. Aliens pulling back. All sectors. Mara nodded, wiping ichor from her blade. Roger. Hold positions. She didn't smile. Just work. Standard. Across the stars, Queen Sarith watched the withdrawal feeds. Her war doctrine crumbled. Humans measured not by tails but trenches, and they filled them all. General Kethral smashed the corridor seal. Stun gas hissed out, thick yellow clouds billowing into the steel vein of his flagship. Capture teams, advance. Shock nets primed. Take the primate alive. His command deck thrummed. Holofeeds split across the walls. 12 angles on the human female, Staff Sergeant Mara Vance, pinned in the gas-choked tube. She crouched amid mangled Quen warriors, her rifle spent, blade dripping violet ichor. Fragile thing, 2 meters of muscle and bone against his empire's finest. Deterrence demanded spectacle, a caged human, broadcast to break Earth. Team Alpha charged first. 4 hulks in sealed armor, nets crackling blue with neural shocks. They fanned out, emitters humming. Keth leaned forward. Net her. No kills. The human moved. A gloved hand snapped to her helmet. Seals hissed. Mask locked. She rose fluid. No stagger from the gas. Her eyes, flat behind the visor, scanned the nets. Alpha flung. The first net whipped forward. Barbs questing. She sidestepped, fist hammering the emitter on the lead warrior's chest. Crack. Armor buckled. The net sparked dead midair. Keth's mandibles clicked. What? Second net arced high. She leaped. Impossible. Gas-weakened primates didn't leap, grabbed a ceiling strut, and swung. Boot smashed the thrower's helm. Non-lethal. Precise. The warrior crumpled, net tangling his own legs. Third net closed from behind. She spun, elbow driving into the emitter like a battering ram. Sparks flew. Net shredded. 3 down. Alpha's last man hesitated, net humming useless. She closed, palm strike to the throat plate. Gentle, measured. He dropped, gasping. 4 nets broken by hand. Keth's claws dug into his console. Beta team, flank her, overwhelm. Beta poured in from side vents, 8 strong, nets doubled up. The human didn't run. She scooped a fallen emitter, shock baton still live, and advanced. Step by step, baton parrying the first toss. Zap. Net fried. They swarmed. Keth watched her weave. Dodge. Strike emitter. Dodge. No waste. Each hit disabled a weapon. Not a life. Her suit tore at the shoulder. Icar spray. But she pressed. Beta fell back. Net sparking junk on the deck. She's hijacking gear, an officer hissed, like it's hers. On feed 3, she ripped a shield emitter from Beta's flank guard. The device. Khan Elite Tech, palm-sized orb pulsing gravitic field, locked to her forearm with a stolen clamp. Blue dome flickered to life, meter-wide barrier shimmering. She advanced behind it. Nets bounced off harmless. Shocks grounded in the field. Beta hammered it with batons. Dents formed, but she shoved forward, shield bashing 2 aside. Keth roared. Regimentals, bulkhead charge. Bury the bitch. Explosives primed. His demo team slapped charges on the forward bulkhead. 10 tons of reinforced plate steel, laced with collapse foam. Detonator beeped. Keth punched it. Boom. The corridor vanished in dust and scream of metal. Debris avalanched. Ceiling slabs, twisted beams enough to crush a siege tank. Feeds whited out. Silence gripped the deck. Keth's heart slowed. Status: confirm kill. Dust cleared on backup cams. Rubble choked the tube. A tomb 20 meters deep. No signal from the human. Then, a grind. Stone shifted. A gauntleted hand punched through, fingers clawing steel. Another followed. She heaved, slab cracking like eggshell. Shield emitter still hummed on her arm, dented but live. She climbed out. Dust caked. Suit ruptured at knee, but moving. Calm stride resumed. Baton in offhand. Keth staggered back. Impossible. Reseal. All teams converge. Warriors flooded the corridor anew. 20, nets abandoned for stunners and grapples. She raised the shield, advanced. Deck alarms wailed. Lieutenant Threx burst in, optics wild. General, pull back! She's not anomaly, she's standard. Intel patterns. Every human fights like this. Doctrine, quiet. Keth snarled, but feeds showed it. Her strikes textbook, shield use intuitive. Like she'd trained on their gear, primitives didn't adapt that fast. She bashed through the first wave. Shield absorbed stuns. Batten cracked helmets. Non-lethal still, warriors twitched, alive but out. Keth patched to the Queen's channel. Majesty the capture. Hollow flickered. Queen Sarith's face filled the wall. Cold, report. She's unbreakable. Took our emitters. Punched through the berry charge. Teams down. Sarith's crest flared. Show me. He slung live feeds. Mara plowed forward, shield a battering ram. A grappler latched her leg. She stomped it free, yanked the line, and clotheslined the puller. Down. Crew gasped. Keth's voice cracked. Fear doctrine holds. Spectacle? No. Sarith watched Mara hijack a second emitter. Dual shields now, weaving like a storm. Reputation lied, results don't. Threx leaned in. Every human, Majesty. Trenches full of vances. Fleets encircled Earth on myths. Pull back! Keth bellowed orders. Evac teams. She's heading for the bay. But Mara didn't charge blind. Beat caught her pause. Visor scanning. A wristcom crackled. Faint human signal piercing their jam. Sergeant Vance. Juno. Drone inbound. Ellis secured. Rear lines dropping crates. Hold! Roger! Mara's voice flat. Pushing to extract. Extract? Keth froze. She wasn't fleeing solo. Reinforcements. Explosions rocked the hull. Human drone strikes? No. Their own bulkheads failing under her path. She bashed a final team. Shield sparking overload. Grabbed a fallen rifle. Alien make. Jury-rigged. And fired controlled bursts. Stunners only. The bay doors loomed on feed. Escape. Keth slammed the ship wide. All hands to arms. Breach protocol. Too late. Mara Vance hit the bay. Human dropship screamed in, cloaked. Missiles live. She vaulted aboard, shields folding as ramps sealed. Keth's forces poured fire, hulls melted. Dropship shrugged it, gravatics flaring, and punched to stars. Deck fell silent. Feeds looped her exit, calm, precise, standard. Sorith's hollow lingered. Keth. Battalion losses? Full, Majesty. She bled us dry. Her optics narrowed. Legends or all? Keth had no answer. Fear coiled, not of one human, but the trenches she filled. In the dropship, Mara Vance stripped her gear. Juno's voice patched through. Ellis stable. Ceasefire pings incoming, Sarge. They blinked. Mara nodded, wiping ichor. Roger, standard op. But Keth didn't see that. He saw his warlord career crack, like bulkhead under fist. Queen Sarith cut the link. Threx, open channels to humans. Ceasefire. Withdraw fleets. Keth gaped. Majesty. Now. Her voice echoed. Empire feeds buzzed live. Worlds watching the human vanish, unbroken. Results measured. Doctrine dust. Across the void, withdrawal began. One soldier's routine broke an empire. Queen Sarith's talon slammed the override panel. Precision barrage. Crater her extraction route now. Gunnery feeds lit green. Shells screamed from orbital lances, slamming the ridgeline ahead. Dirt plumes erupted in perfect sequence. A wall of fire 10 clicks long, sealing the human from her dropship vector. The live drone feed sharpened on Staff Sergeant Mara Vance. Rifle slung, squad trailing, shields flickering under sporadic fire. Primitive gear. Fragile primate stock. Kethral leaned into the hollow pit, mandibles clacking. She halts, Majesty, timing the impacts. Sareth's optics narrowed. The human crouched amid smoking craters, head tilted, listening. A shell whined high. 3 seconds to bloom. She exploded forward, boots chewing regolith. Squad mirrored her, 5 shadows darting in her wake. Next strike pulverized the spot she'd vacated. Dust cleared. They sprinted again, weaving the blast rhythm like dancers in a kill web. Adjust, spread, Sareth barked. Overlap the grid. No gaps. Artillery AI complied. Shells rained denser, a metronome of thunder. The feed shook, drone jockeys cursing interference. Yet the human plotted each whine's pitch, slashing between booms. Her squad hugged her flanks, no strays, no panic. One alien patrol crested a rise. She snapped, a stunner burst mid-stride. Bows dropped, twitching. She didn't break pace. Threx slithered forward, data vines pulsing. Majesty, pattern emerging. She's using our barrage cadence? Humans train for this? Impossible, Keth growled. Fragile bones. No shields match ours. Sarith ignored them. Zoomed the feed. Vance's faceplate reflected plasma glow, expression flat, disciplined. The squad vaulted a fresh crater, plasma bolts grazing tails. Human return fire pinned pursuers. Controlled bursts, no waste. Shells bracketed tighter. One clipped her squad's flankman. He rolled, popped smoke, rejoined without signal. They accelerated. Lock individual targets, Soreth commanded. Vaporize the leader. Gunnery chief hissed. Spotters blinded by own dust, Majesty. Precision holds route only. The feed crackled. Vance's helmet comms light pulsed green. Audio leaked through drone intercept. Human tongue. Clipped. Sarge Park. Comms narrowband restored. Jammers bypassed. Plot. Veer 30 degrees left 800 meters. Spotter node at grid 4722. Barrage thins there. Vance nodded once. No reply. She cut hard left, squad flowing seamless. Shells chased but gaps yawned. Sareth's crest flared. The human read her own wall like code. Frax! Confirmed that voice, Lieutenant Juno Park, human coordinator. She's punching ghost signals through our net. Real-time adaptation. Keth's claws scraped deckplate. Pull spotters back. Too late. Feed locked on the node. Tripod sensor array. Pulsing target data to orbit. Vance skidded behind slag, palmed a charge from her harness. No pause. She rose, arms snapped back. Perfect arc. 40 meters. Charge latched the stalk. Bloom. The node sparked, crumpled. Feeds across the grid glitched. Orbital lances fired blind. Shells veered wide, cratering empty waste. Silence fell over the barrage line. Vance was already moving, squad pounding after, straight to the bay coordinates. Sarith's chamber echoed with gunnery alarms. Status. Spotter chain severed, Chief reported. Realigning manual. 5 minutes. Keth bellowed. Deploy hunter packs. Swarm the breach. No. Sarith's voice cut like monofilament. The feed pulled wide. Human dropship decloaking, ramp yawning. Vance vaulted aboard mid-stride, squad piling in. Hull seals hissed. Enemy fire lanced out. Plasma melting plates. The ship shrugged, gravatics flaring blue, and punched skyward. Deck fell silent. Looped replay. The human sprints. The throw. The calm vault. Standard procedure, her posture said. Routine. Keth gaped. Mandibles slack. Full battalion losses planetside. She dismantled us. Sarith's optics bored into him. Legends are fact? Threx's vines dimmed. Fact, Majesty. Patterns match all intercepts. They're infantry trains for denial ops. We measured reputation. She is results. Worlds watched now. Empire feeds live-streamed the collapse. Fleet stalled mid-jump. Human trenches held because of this. One soldier turning spectacle to dust. Open channels, Sarith commanded. Ceasefire to human command. Withdraw all vectors. Keth reared. Majesty, we... Now, her talons silenced overrides. Doctrine cracked. One human's metronome broke the wall. In the dropship, Mara Vance stripped spent gear, ichor flecking her gloves. Juno Park's voice patched clean. Ellis stable, Sarge. Ceasefire pings inbound. They blinked. Mara wiped her faceplate. Calm. Roger. Standard op. But on the command deck, Sorith saw only the anomaly. Fear coiled, not of myths, but the routine that filled human lines. Withdrawal orders cascaded. Warlords across the Empire recoiled, measuring anew. Results ruled. Threx bowed low. The fragile primates fight as one. Sarith cut the feed. Empire doctrine burned. Peace came not in spectacle, but surrender to the measured truth. Keth slumped, career fracturing like overheated bulkhead. Worlds buzzed. The soldier unbroken. Across the void, fleets reversed. One routine op. One empire humbled. Sarith stared at empty hollow. Human exceptionalism wasn't boast. It was baseline. And they'd just met it head-on. Staff Sergeant Mara Vance dodged plasma bolts, her squad's covering fire chewing through the alien drone swarm. The evac beacon throbbed ahead, a steady green pulse cutting the red emergency strobes. "Push to beacon!" she barked into her comm. "Juno, keep Ellis covered!" Lieutenant Juno Park's voice crackled back. "On it, Sarge." Drones thinning. Beacons hot. Mara vaulted a sparking console, mag rifle barking precise bursts. One drone exploded in a shower of shards. The beacon loomed larger, promising extraction from this gutted carrier outpost. Her power cell hummed low, but enough for the LZ. A low whine built behind her. She spun mid-stride. Golden tractor fields snapped up, coiling around her like living chains. The cage hummed, energy webs tightening. Lifting her boots off the deck, drones halted fire. Silence dropped. Mara tested the field. It flexed but held. Her HUD flickered, jamming active. "Juno, I'm caged. Tractor trap. Stand by." Static answered. The cage dragged her backward, toward a docking umbilical pulsing with carrier lights. Empire flagship, by the scale. Bad spot. She scanned the cage nodes. Power conduits glowed along the frame. Her suit cell could overload them. Risky, but sitting trapped was worse. Mara yanked her utility knife, pried open her chest plate. Exposed the power cell. Standard denial, she muttered. Slapped a jury-rig overcharged shunt across the terminals. The cell whined high. Fields flickered. She braced. Explosion ripped outward. Tractor nodes blew in chain reaction, hurling the cage frame, and Mara, through the umbilical seal. Shrapnel shredded the docking corridor. She tumbled into the flagship's main hangar. Armor scorched but intact. Alarms wailed. Hangar doors irised half shut before jamming. Mara rolled to her feet, rifle up. "Juno, breach confirmed. Flagship interior. Rally squad." "Roger," Park replied, voice clear now. Ellis patched, inbound hot. Mara advanced, boots crunching debris. Power conduits snaked the walls. Carrier nodes pulsing lifeblood. Cut them. Lock the beast down. She slapped breaching charges on the first node cluster. "Fire teams! On me!" Priority. Nodes and doors. Her squad materialized from the umbilical breach, Park hauling the wounded Ellis. 4 grunts fanning out, human standard. Breach, deny, extract. Plasma lanced from bulkhead nests. Mara sidestepped, rifle stitching the turret. It burst. "Flank left, Park! Doors!" Park dashed to the hangar controls, hacking the alien panel with a field decryptor. Doors locking. 30 seconds. Grunts poured, suppressing fire. Mara led the push, knife-severing secondary conduits. Sparks flew. The first major node overloaded, lights dimming across the bay. Alien troops boiled from side passages, scaled Ken warriors, claws gleaming, energy lances thrusting. They chittered commands, formations tight. Mara dropped to a knee. Mag rifle cycling. Headshots dropped too. "Grenades, center mass!" Thumpers launched. Concussive blasts shredded their ranks. Humans pressed, disciplined volleys carving a path. Node 2 down, a grunt yelled. Park sealed the hangar doors with a final override. Bulkheads slammed shut, trapping Empire reinforcements outside. Carrier shuddered. Power fluctuations rippled. Mara wiped ichor from her faceplate. Third node ahead. Juno. Status. Ellis stable. Squad green. They're scrambling, Sarge. Feeds lighting up. Mara nodded. One routine boarding up. Empire measured reputation. Time for results. Vizier Threx's claws danced across the hollow console, tracing the sabotage cascade. Flagship alarms screamed priority red. Power draw anomaly, hangar sector, human incursion confirmed. General Keth Rawl loomed over the bridge, mandibles clicking fury. Impossible, the cage held. She was isolated. Trex zoomed the feed. A single human, Vance, intercepts named her, stormed the node banks. Her squad followed, movements metronomic. Nodes severed, hangar locked, tractor field overloaded, Trex reported. She weaponized it. Breached our docking spine. Patterns match intercepts. Infantry denial protocols. Keth slammed a fist into the console.
Fragile primates. Deploy hunter squads. Flood the vents.
Risk hesitated. Data scrolled. Human trenches held across vectors because of this, not berserkers. Routine. General, this is their baseline. One soldier invalidates deterrence.
Keth snarled. Fetch the queen.
End this farce. Threx patched to the throne deck. Queen Sorith Valken materialized in hollow, her crown spines erect, eyes like fusion cores. Report, she commanded. Majesty. Threx bowed low. The captured human, Mara Vance, breached the flagship, overloaded the cage for entry. Squad secured hangar, severed power nodes. Doors locked. They advance. Sorith's tail lashed. Live feeds broadcast empire-wide. The spectacle of capture turned invasion. Worlds watched. Keth intruded. A fluke, Majesty. Fear wins. Silence. Sorith's gaze pierced the hollow. You lured results into our heart. Vizier. Trace their path. Threx complied. Corridors lit red. Humans pushing methodically. No panic. No waste. Denial ops, Threx murmured. Standard human training. Sorith's spines flattened. Patterns clicked. Reputation lied. The soldiers' calm dismantled doctrine. Fleet stalled mid-jump, watching collapse. Open channels, she commanded. Cease fire to human command. Withdraw all vectors. Keth reared. Majesty, we... Now. Her talon silenced overrides. Threx bowed deeper. The fragile primates fought as one. Mara Vance stripped spent gear in the dropship bay, ichor flecking her gloves. Hangar secure. Nodes dead. Carrier crippled. Juno Park's voice patched clean. Ellis stable, Sarge. Ceasefire pings inbound. They blinked. Mara wiped her faceplate. Calm. Roger. Standard op. Carrier feeds flickered off. Empire doctrine cracked. One human's metronome broke the wall. Worlds buzzed. Fleets reversed. Routine met head-on. Royal Guards burst through the throne bay arches. Plasma lances leveled at Mara Vance. 8 of them, scaled hides gleaming under lumen strips, formed a kill box around her. Claws clicked on deck plates. Their leader snarled a demand in halting system standard. Surrender, human. Queen commands. Mara stood dead center, rifle slung low, breath steady. Hangar breach complete. Juno's squad sealed behind her. One soldier through the heart. Standard infill. Queen Sorith Valken loomed on the dais. Crown spines flared like dagger crowns. Her throne pulsed with hollow feeds. Empire fleets, frozen mid-strike. Human worlds unbowed. Flanking her, General Keth Rawl gripped his axe rig, mandibles grinding. Vizier Threx hunched at a console, data vines twitching. Take her alive, Sorith boomed. Voice echoed off vaulted bulkheads. Show the Empire fragile meat yields. The lead guard lunged. Lance tip sparked toward Mara's chest. She twisted inside his thrust, grabbed his wrist mid-arc, snapped it with a wet crack, bones like dry twigs under her grip. Guard howled. Mara yanked the lance free, reversed it. Shaft blurred. She drove the blunt end into Guard 2's knee, buckling it, pinned him to the deck, swept Guard 3's legs, jammed the lance across his throat. Held all 3 immobile. No kills. Restraint protocol. Guards froze. Lances wavered. Keth Rawl bellowed. Primitives break easy. Crush her. Mara dropped her rifle. Clatter echoed. Empty hands open at her sides. She ripped the unit patch from her shoulder. Black Eagle on steel. Held it high. Ceasefire channel. Now, or we finish this. Sorith's fusion core eyes narrowed. Tail lashed, cracking a console edge. Insolence. You breach my flagship. Demand terms? Hollow feeds flickered. Mara's path traced in red. Overloaded cage. Severed nodes. Methodical advance. No frenzy, just results. Threx leaned in, spines quivering. Majesty, patterns match. Human denial ops, standard infantry. Drone, Sarith slashed a talon. Throne servos word, a duelist drone ejected from her dais vault. Chrome predator, forearms whirring vibroblades, grav repulsors humming. Empire's pinnacle, faster than flesh, programmed for royal spectacles. It locked on Mara. Blades spun to lethal haze. Mara exhaled, stepped forward. Drone pounced, blades scything air. She ducked low, shoulder checked its underbelly. Metal groaned under impact. Drone reoriented, repulsors firing bursts. It slashed down. Mara rolled, came up inside its guard. Fingers clamped a blade arm, twisted. Servos screamed. She wrenched it free, alloy shearing like foil. Sparks flew. Guards shifted. Keth snarled, "Impossible." Drone mass exceeds. Mara swung the severed arm like a club. Smashed a repulsor pod. Drone wobbled. She leaped, bare hands seizing its core housing, muscles corded. Tore the panel loose. Wires snapped. Plasma coolant hissed. Drone thrashed. She drove her knee into its chassis, punched through to the power cell, yanked it out. Fist-sized orb pulsed once. Died. Drone crumpled. Smoking heap at her feet. Silence crushed the bay. Guards' lances drooped. Threx's vines spasmed, data flooding his implants. Strength metrics exceed projections by factors. Sarith rose. Throne shadows cloaked her, but spines wilted. "What are you?" Mara tossed the power orb aside. Clink, retrieved her rifle, slung it calm. "Staff Sergeant Mara Vance, 7th Infantry. You captured the wrong one." Patch still in hand, she extended it toward the Queen's hollow relay. "Patch me to your command net. Ceasefire terms. Live." Keth lunged forward, axe rig deploying. "I'll end this farce." Sarith's talon flashed, force field snapped up, halting him. "Hold." Her gaze bored into Mara. Feeds broadcast wide, drone wreckage steaming, human unscathed, Empire channels lit, worlds tuning in. Fleets queried overrides. Juno's voice crackled in Mara's earpiece, jammed but piercing. "Sarge," Ellis patched, "breach teams at Ox Core. Their nets fracturing, pings from high command." "Roger," Mara murmured, eyes locked on Sarith. "Your war doctrine's busted. One soldier in your throne. Imagine the division." Threx bowed low. "Majesty, visuals confirm. Human baseline exceeds our elite thresholds. Reputation was bait." "This is norm." Keth roared. "Lies. Fear wins." Silence. Sarith's tail coiled. She activated the relay. Hollow bloomed between them. Open channel to human command. "Speak, Sergeant." Terms. Mara didn't flinch. "Full withdrawal. All vectors. POW exchange. No reprisals." Patch glowed under lumens. Eagle stared out. Sarith hesitated. Feeds showed it. Human squads stacking alien dead methodically. No waste. Her fleets stalled. Captains demanding orders. One breach, one soldier. Doctrine invalidated. "Comply," she hissed. Channel locked open. Empire yields. Keth reared back. "Majesty!" Threx silenced him with a vine tap. Data streamed. Human signals coordinating flawless. Collaboration, not chaos. Mara nodded once. "Juno, confirm receipt." "Affirm, Sarge." Vectors reversing. We held the bay. Deck shuddered. Power nodes flickered. Juno's work. Mara stepped back. Guards parted. Lances low. No pursuit. Sarith watched her go. Spines flat. "Vizier, archive this. All doctrine. Revise." Threx nodded. "Yes, Majesty." Humans fight as one. Mara hit the corridor. Rifle ready. Standard extract. Empire's heart cracked wide, but feeds lingered. Worlds buzzed. One human's empty hands shattered crowns. Queen Sarith slumped into her throne. Hollow feeds died one by one. Fleets jumped out system. Keth paced. Axe retracted. "We return stronger." Rex shook his head. "No, General. We measure now. By results." Sarith's eyes dimmed. The fragile primate walked free. War's end scripted in wrist breaks and torn metal. Mara linked with Juno's squad. Ellis grinned through medgel. Heard you soloed the Queen's toy, Sarge. Standard grapple. Mara wiped ichor from gloves. Dropship bay awaited. Carrier lists hard. Crippled for good. Juno patched fleet-wide. Cease fire holds. They blinked first. Mara shouldered her rifle. Calm, settled. Routine, met Empire. Wall broken. Human pickets reformed. No cheers. Just work. One soldier's metronome echoed across stars. Bulkheads ripped wide. Air exploded outward in a freezing gale. Staff Sergeant Mara Vance braced as the corridor decompressed, her squad's tethers snapping taut behind her. Maglocks, Mara barked, her boots clamped to the deck with a metallic grind. Frost rhymed her visor, vacuum clawed at her suit seals. Private Ellis yanked his line tight. Locked, Sarge. Corporal Riez tethered the last man. All green. That's Keth's play. Flush us to the void. Mara advanced. One deliberate step. Her rifle swept the widening gap. Enemy lances glittered ahead. General Keth Rawl's counter-assault squads massing at the far bulkhead. They fired plasma bursts that died in the vacuum, harmless blooms of light. Standard breach, Mara said over squad comms. Juno, eyes on? Lieutenant Park's voice crackled through. Affirm, Sarge. Jamming their net. Spoofing Keth's codes now. Rerouting their flanks into our kill box. Mara nodded inside her helmet. Park's hacks turned alien chaos into traps, human signals cut clean, even under Empire encryption. Keth's voice boomed fleet-wide, intercepted by Park. Vents hold, primates die exposed. Mara ignored it. She fired. Rounds punched through an alien trooper's carapace. The body tumbled into space, lance spinning away. Her squad pushed forward. Tethers hummed under strain. Debris whirled past, shattered panels, frozen ichor globs. Mara's breath fogged steady in her rebreather. Routine. Vacuum was just another weather. Ahead, Keth loomed in powered armor, axe raised. His spines flared red with rage. You walk into death? Mara's mag boots thudded deck by deck. 50 meters closed to 20. Her squad fanned left-right, rifles barking silent death. Enemy squads shifted. Park's spoof worked. Keth's own reinforcements veered into crossfire. Bolts lanced from hidden human positions. Aliens crumpled. Vines severed. Keth roared. Betrayal! Stand your ground. Not mine, Park cut in on open channel. Yours, General. Vectors locked. Mara reached the breach. She vaulted a fallen trooper. Keth swung his axe. She sidestepped, boot mags holding her pivot. Her rifle butt cracked his helm sensor. He staggered. Fragile meat. Mara drove her knee into his midsection. Carapace split. He reeled back. Axe scraping bulkhead. Her squad closed the net. Ellis tagged 2 flankers. Reyes pinned a third. Comms lit up. Alien command override. Queen Sorith's voice translated sharp. Keth Ral. Stand down. Cease all fire. Extract protocols now. Keth froze. His spines quivered. Then he laughed, a guttural hiss. No, Majesty. Witness. He fired point blank. Plasma scorched Mara's pauldron. Seals held. She rolled, mags disengaging mid-spin. Tether yanked her back upright. Mara countered. Burst to his axe arm. Joint fused. He dropped the weapon. Wrong target, she said flatly. Squad comms only. Keth lunged. Mara sidestepped again, grabbed his harness. Standard grapple. Twist. Leverage. Throw. His bulk sailed into his own venting maw. He clawed the edge. Impossible. Mara planted a boot on his chest plate. Pushed. He vanished into the black. Silence fell. Vacuum absolute. Juno's voice broke it. Sarge, Queen's feed patching through. They're pulling back. Fleet-wide. Mara resealed her rifle sling. Squad, consolidate. Extract to bay. Ellis exhaled hard. Walked through that like a stroll, Sarge. Routine, Mara said. She maglocked once more, advanced past the bodies. Reyes scanned ahead. Corridor clear, no pursuit. They moved. Tethers retracted smooth. Human pickets reformed outside, dropships idling. In the Queen's throne chamber, light years away but linked by drone feed, Sorith watched the hollow die. Keth's final snarl cut short. Vizier Threx tapped vines urgently. Majesty, the pattern confirms. One soldier. Squad cohesion, they measure us now. General Keth's aides knelt, spines flat. Fleets signaled retreat, worlds blinking to ceasefire. Sirith's claws dug throne, revise all, by results, but Mara heard none of it. Her world was the deck underfoot, rifle balanced, squad tight. Dropship bay loomed. Juno waited, grinning under medgel on Ellis's arm. Heard you aired the Queen's blunt instrument. Standard, Mara replied. She shouldered through the hatch. Carrier listed hard, crippled vents trailing atmosphere. Fleet comms hummed. Ceasefire holds, they blinked. Mara wiped ichor flecks from her gloves, calm, settled. One soldier's steps echoed. Back in the Empire core, Threx archived the feeds. Human signals flawless. Collaboration scripted doom. Sirith slumped. We chased reputation. They gave results. Keth's axe lay shattered in the void. A warlord's defiance, ended by wrist breaks and torn metal. Mara linked SquadNet. Reform pickets, no cheers. Work. Outside void cleared. Human carriers jumped in formation. Empire fleets scattered. One human's metronome ticked on. But feeds lingered across alien nets. Worlds buzzed. Queens whispered. The fragile primate walked free. Mara hit her rack hours later. Suit off, muscles ached standard. Juno patched final logs. Empire's heart cracked Sarge. Mara nodded once. Rifle cleaned beside her. Routine met crown. War's script rewritten. By hands that broke nothing. But everything. In Sirith's court, Threx bowed. Measure by results, Majesty. Or fall. She rose. Spines flat. Fleets jumped out system. Peace scripted in vacuum steps. Mara slept sound. Tomorrow, new lines. Ellis stirred in medbay. Soloed the Queen's toy. Team, Mara murmured over comms. Juno chuckled. Stars wheeled. Human exceptionalism tallied quiet. Aliens learned late. Strength showed, not claimed. Corridors vented no more. One soldier's advance sealed it. Queen's doctrine burned. Human normal prevailed. End scripted. By results, Mara Vance slammed her boot into the command blister's hatch. Metal buckled. Hinges screamed. She rolled through the gap, rifle up, scanning the crimson-lit chamber. General Keth Rawl loomed at the central holotable. His axe gleamed under pulsing lights. 8 guards flanked him, plasma lances charging with high-pitched whines. Drop it! Her voice cut through the din, amplified by her suit's externals. Keth laughed, a guttural rumble. He hefted the axe. Fragile primate. You breach my core, now die. Guards fired first. Bolts scorched the air. Mara sidestepped, double-tapped the nearest. One down. She vaulted the holotable, using its edge as cover. Sparks erupted from impacts. Juno's voice crackled in her earpiece. Sarge. Fleet signatures spiking. Empire heavies inbound. You got 30 seconds. Copy, Mara grunted. She popped a flashbang. It clattered across the deck. White light bloomed. Guards staggered, claws shielding multifaceted eyes. Mara surged. She drove her rifle butt into one's throat. Cartilage crunched. Pivot. Knife from her vest. Slashed tendons on another's leg. It collapsed howling. Keth charged. Axe swung in a blur. Mara ducked. The blade bit deep into the holotable. Consoles shattered. She countered with an elbow to his midsection. His chitin plates cracked. He roared, backhanding her. Force rattled her teeth. She tasted blood but rolled with it, coming up behind. Grabbed his wrist, twisted. Bones popped. Yield, she said, calm as drill hours. Keth spun, axe rising. Mara dropped low, swept his legs. He crashed down, 2 tons of armored fury. She mounted his back, arms snaked around his neck. Chokehold locked, forearm under jaw, bicep clamping trachea. His guards rallied. Lances leveled. Mara squeezed harder. 1 step. He snaps. They froze. Keth thrashed, claws gouging deck plates. His face darkened, spines flaring. Gurgle escaped. Mara held steady. Breathe. Count. 3, 2. The blister's inner door hissed open. Queen Surith Valken strode in. Her crown of neural spines pulsed gold. Robes swirled like void silk. Guards knelt instantly. Enough. Sarith's voice echoed, modulated calm. She raised a clawed hand. Release, my general. Mara tightened the hold a fraction. Keth's struggles weakened. He captured my squad, jamming our lines, terms first. Sarith's eyes, black orbs ringed in silver, fixed on Mara. No blink. You stand in my throne nexus. One soldier, against Empire. Results, Mara said, not reputation. Ceasefire, all fronts. Juno chimed in. Sarge, open broadcast active. Human nets live. Empire feeds patching through. Sarith's spines twitched. She touched a wrist console, hollow bloomed. Fleet dispositions galaxy-wide. Red icons pulsed. Blockades, invasions, skirmishes, done. Sarith keyed commands. Icons shifted to amber standby. Fleets hold, no strikes. Mara eased pressure. Keth gasped, slumped unconscious. She stood, rifle trained. Prisoner swaps. All human POWs. Safe corridors out system. Broadcast ratification. Sarith's mandibles clicked. A pause stretched. Her court, viziers and aides in the blister's shadows murmured. One, cloaked in data veils, stepped forward. Vizier Threx, Majesty, the feeds. Silence. Sarith activated the central hollow. It linked to every Empire relay. Her image tripled. Blister Cam. Fleet Command. Core Worlds. Empire of Ken broadcasts. Her voice boomed across channels. Human demands, ratified. All captives exchanged. Corridors cleared. Coordinates appended. Hostilities cease. Mara watched the Queen's claws dance over the console. Data streamed. Manifests. Jump vectors. Human faces flickered on subscreens. Pose in camps now marching free. Juno whooped softly. Logs confirm, Sarge. Carriers reforming. Their heavies peeling off. Verify swaps, Mara ordered. She kept her stance loose, rifle low but ready. Keth stirred. Guards hauled him up. Reverent now. Sarith deactivated the broadcast. Her spines flattened. A sign Juno had briefed her on earlier. Submission posture. You broke doctrine, Sarith said. Voice low. For Mara, alone. We measured whispers. You gave steel. Mara nodded once. Standard up. Squad's waiting. Threx approached. Datapad glowing. He bowed to Sarith. Archiving, Majesty. The full feeds. Human infiltration protocols updated. Measure results henceforth. Sarith waved him off. To Mara. Walk free. Corridors open. Mara backed toward the breached hatch. Guards parted. No pursuit. She keyed her calm. Juno. Extract vector. Pick up Ellis en route. Affirm. Void clear. Welcome home, anomaly. Blister sealed behind her. Mara moved through venting corridors, suit fans hissing. Empire tech hummed subdued. Drones scattered at her approach. Hours later aboard the human carrier Resolute, Mara stripped her gear. Muscles burned. Standard post-drop ache. She racked the rifle. Wiped it down. Methodical strokes. Juno entered the armory. Empire's heart cracked wide, Sarge. Feeds viral across their nets. Queens buzzing. Mara glanced up. Team effort. You jammed their jam. Juno grinned. And Ellis? Medbay grumbling. Soloed the Queen's toy. Team, Mara corrected. She sealed the locker. Hit the rack. Sleep pulled fast. In the Empire core, light years distant, but feeds bridged it. Sarith's court reconvened. Mara didn't see it. Human intel pieced it later. Trex bowed deep. Doctrine archived, Majesty. Human normal, mythic, wrist breaks, chokeholds. No execution, mercy as weapon. Sarith stood at her throne, claws flexed. Never provoke again, privately. All courts informed. Measure by results, or fall. Her spines lay flat. Hands, still steady on broadcast, trembled now, alone. She gripped the armrest, crown secure, term signed, but shakes betrayed. One soldier's metronome echoed eternal. Mara woke to Juno's ping. New lines forming, Sarge. Perimeter sweeps. She rose, suit on. Rifle slung, routine held. War's script rewritten. Empire fleets jumped out system. Human carriers filled the void, peace in vacuum steps. Stars wheeled. Ellis stirred in medbay. Team, Nara murmured over comms. Strength tallied quiet. Aliens learned late. Back in the blister feeds, looped eternal. Keth's axe shattered. Mara's grip unyielding. Queen stepping in. One human's advance sealed it. Queen's doctrine burned. Human normal prevailed. Mara hit the hatch. Steps echoed. Work. Waited. In Sareth's private nexus, claws steadied on the ratification scroll. Broadcast done. Tremors hid. She could keep her crown, if hands stayed still. But they shook. Results lingered. Juno patched final logs. Empire whispers your name, Sarge. Anomaly. Mara cleaned her gloves. Calm settled. Just Vance. Void cleared. Pickets reformed. No cheers. One soldier's tick onward. Worlds buzzed. Queens measured anew. Fragile primate walked free. War ended. By hands that broke everything, but nothing extra. Ellis chuckled over net. Next time we all choke the queen. Mara smiled faint. Rifle gleamed. Tomorrow's lines called. Empire Core archived. Trex's warning etched. Results rule. Sarith rose. Fleets scattered. Peace scripted. Mara slept sound. Exceptionalism hummed quiet. Core